Hi everyone, my name is Rosie and I'm going to be speaking about assistive listening devices. So to start, what is assistive listening technology, or what is an assistive listening device? So what it does is it's a small broadcast system and it's used to help people who are hard of hearing understand better in houses of worship or a classroom, etc. So it's essentially it's for somebody who has difficulty hearing and understanding. In noisy situations and quiet situations, everyone is different. But essentially, in a classroom, if somebody's sitting in the back of the room and the teacher's in the front, it might be really hard for them to understand what the teacher is saying because they're so far away from that signal, the speech signal. So we want to bring that signal really close to their ears. So what this does is essentially we're taking that voice of the teacher, of the priest, whoever it is, and we're bringing that voice straight to a device. So either using, so like I said on the next bullet point, it is a sound transmitter, and then they use the headphones, headset, or hearing aids, whatever it is, to stream that signal into their ears. They can adjust the volume, and sound is transmitted directly through the headset. Okay, so the goal is to bring the sound very close to the ear so that the listener has the best chance of understanding what is being said. Obviously, if there are other issues, then that is something that they would have to, go to a doctor for, or whatever it is. But if the sole purpose is just to, if the sole goal is just to hear better, then we really can do that with bringing the signal closer to their ears. So the listener has the best chance. So we do this so that the listener has the best chance of understanding what is being said, especially if they are sitting far away from the speaker. And we want to increase the signal to noise ratio. So what is a signal to noise ratio? Signal to noise ratio means how loud the signal is, so the speech, relative to how loud the noise behind them is. So if you're in a very loud room and people are sitting next to you, likely they're going to be making noise. The noise closer to you might be louder than the person far away. And you'll be able to hear the noise better than you'll be able to hear the speech. So we want to increase the signal to noise ratio. We want to reduce that noise, increase that speech. Okay, so a common way to loop a system and in order to be able to broadcast is called a telecoil. And you likely have seen this this picture of the blue ear by the trains or things like that. So essentially what the person can do is they can connect their Bluetooth device or hearing aid or via cable, whatever it is. And it's a coil in the hearing aid or in the assistive listening device that will magnetically connect to telecoil at the subway station or at the house of worship or in school or whatever it is, and they can loop the listener into the room or into the telecoil so that they can get the speech signal amplified and sent directly to their ears. So no matter where they're sitting in church, they automatically have the best seat in the house because we're getting that signal directly to their ears. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some of the devices that you have in your church. So there's something called the Listen Display Receiver, or LR472, like the one that you have. So it looks something like this. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about what it does. So this can provide up to 80 decibels of a signal to noise ratio. So we can make that signal 80 decibels louder than the noise. 80 decibels, I'm not sure if you're familiar, so I'll just explain. Somebody screaming is probably about 70 decibels. So it is louder than somebody screaming, like literally shouting. So that is great. That would really get the person to understand. Clearly, it can go up to that. So if it's too loud, they can adjust the volume, and we'll talk more about that. You can see that there's a volume control up here. It can go up to 250 feet, and it can connect many devices to one transmitter. So we can have one person standing in the front, they have their transmitter, and every single person is using this device, and they can all listen clearly. So this device specifically will show you battery life as well as which channel the device is on currently. Okay, so you can go through 57 channels if you look through the battery door, and I'll show you more of that on the next slide. But just look at how he looks. He has his device here. It's connected via the broadcast, right? It's transmitting, and it's sending the signal directly to his ears. Okay. So this is just the body of it and what it looks like. The seek option can scan and activate the channel. So if you see here, you can change channels and then figure out which, oh, sorry, this is the seek button. You can figure out which channel, it'll find the correct channel for you. You can also scroll through channels, through all 57 options and figure out which channel you'd like. The volume control is up on top right here, near the on off. So you can turn it up this way and that will raise the volume. You turn it this way to the right, it'll shut it off if you keep going all the way. So they can adjust it as much as they can. They can get up to 80 decibels, like we said. So it's pretty significant. Also, the manufacturer was mentioning, I was watching their video and they were mentioning that their competitors can only go up to 60 decibels. So it's very significant. This seems like a very good device. The way you would connect the headphone jack is right here. So you would connect your headphone here. And there is a battery lock. So you want to just lock it. I think it's on the side. You want to just be able to lock that battery door to make sure that an elderly person can't swallow a battery, or child can't swallow a battery, the batteries aren't falling out, anything like that. Usually they recommend using nickel metal. You see right here, nickel metal rechargeable battery. You can also use an alkaline metal, but they recommend using the nickel metal. And you have to just indicate on the device. So you see there's two places. You have to just indicate on the device which battery you are using. Okay. So this is just a review in case anyone doesn't want to listen to the PowerPoint. They can just look at the, they can look at my notes here, but that's everything we just spoke about. They also provided a quick reference card. So this just talks a little bit about some features that it does. We don't have to go super in detail with this, but there's a super quiet feature, which eliminates radio frequency noise, allowing clear reception of the signal. And in order for this to work, you have to activate both the transmitter and the receivers and set them to SQ. Then it just tells you how to unlock or lock channels. So in case you don't want the elderly people, if they're elderly, or somebody with dexterity issues, so they have difficulty moving their fingers, you can hold the seek button down and a LED light will blink, and then the channel will lock or unlock. So if you don't want somebody changing the channels and you want to know what they're hearing, then you can lock it. Okay, so now it just says, do not attempt to charge any type of battery other than nickel metal hydride. In order to charge, we're going to talk more about that, but there's something called a charging case, and I will show you. So you have to set it to the battery select. So like I said before, you want to set your battery to NIMH setting. Okay. So now here's the charging case. So this is great for storage of all devices, and it has a place where you can charge it on the bottom. On the bottom of these, there are nodes that will connect to this device, and then they can just charge. This is where the headsets can sit. So you see, you can keep the headset on if you don't want to remove them and just keep them in this little bowl. And then when you're done, you can close it up. Oh, sorry. The case has to be open when you're charging. That way it doesn't lock heat inside and energy. It's not good for the devices. And then when it's done, you can just open that box up when it's done, the box is open while it's charging, and then it can close when it's done charging, and then you can store it away. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the G-Mark iLoop Clear Sound. So I couldn't find as much information on this. I do think it's a great device as well. It is a little bit more simple. The key features are that you have the ability to enjoy music at an enhanced volume level. So just by clicking, it can connect to a Mac, an iPod, things like that. So you can improve sound quality, eliminate background noise, and improve sound clarity. So what it is it's an amplified neck loop. It has the capacity to amplify by 30 decibels. So 30 decibels is much more quiet than 80. It would be around a whisper, or more quiet, not a whisper, but more of a quiet, a really, really soft and quiet conversation could be about 30 decibels. If I were talking at this volume, it would be 50 decibels. If I were shouting, it would probably be 70, but I wasn't shouting just now. But if I were shouting, it could be 70, 80. Okay. So this is much lower amplification. This could be good for somebody who you perceive has less of a significant difficulty with hearing. So this is really good for people who have telecoil equipped hearing aids or in their assistive listening devices. The volume control is located below the on or off button, and it is powered by 2 AAA batteries. And the hands-free neck loop is compatible with MP3, iPod, iPad, iPhone, audio player, audio CD player, and PC, etc. The jack plug is 3.5 millimeters. So that's really all I have. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. My email address is ovadiar1@montclair.edu. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm a student of Montclair State University, and I am grateful to have been able to present to you on your assistive listening devices, and I hope that it serves you well. Be well. Thank you so much.